Hello, it's me, and I'm here to talk about reclaiming pagan words. This episode is a bit different because we're talking about reclaiming tradition from the traditionalists. So, what exactly is a tradition? So, a tradition to me is something that evolves and grows and changes in response to its environment, but is still recognizable as the same thing. So, for example, there are Christian traditions that have evolved and changed in response to environment, but we still recognise them as Christian. One particular example was given by a speaker at a conference that I went to on religion and ritual, and she said that there was this procession where there were some Catholics and they carried a statue of the Virgin Mary from one church to another church. And of course, everybody wanted to get involved. And so they added a feature of this procession, which was raising and lowering a flag. And then more people wanted to do stuff. So they added more lowering and raising of flags along the route and extended the route. So it's still the same procession, and they're still carrying the Virgin Mary from A to B, but now it's got extra features. So I think that you can do a fair amount of modifying of a tradition before it becomes something completely different. And folklorists will tell you that tradition is something that has a form and a function. So folklore has a form and a function. So if we transmit a particular ritual practice or something from one generation to the next, the reason it gets transmitted is because someone somewhere finds it useful. So the corollary to that is that if somebody ceases to find this practice useful, then they will either modify it to make it useful to them, or they will drop it. This is how stuff works, and this is how folklore works, and it's how tradition works, and has always worked that way. Tradition does not mean setting something in stone and repeating it exactly the same from one generation to the next. That's not how it works. So we should reclaim the word tradition to mean what it's always meant, which is something that is like a discourse that grows and changes and evolves, but in a unified direction, so it's recognisably the same thing. Like, if a person changes something about themselves, like, I don't know, if I stop drinking alcohol tomorrow, I'll still be me, right? So the tradition of me, Yvonne Ebro, will still be that tradition. It'll just have less alcohol involved in the process. So it's easy to see that something can still be the same thing, but when it's been modified in some way. Only apparently, for some mysterious reason, if you make a modification that involves helping LGBT people to feel included, or helping BIPOC people to feel included, suddenly it's like, oh no, you can't do that. No. And somehow I don't think the people who are saying that are really defending the tradition at all. So, that's all I've got to say on the subject of tradition and what it actually means. Have fun and blessed be.